This is May of this year, 2023, and I had a little accident where I nearly lost one of my fingers and got some pretty bad nerve damage on the other. I thought as a guitar player and a bass player that I might be out of luck and unable to play guitar, and I still don't quite have the range of motion that I had, but obviously I'm back. Luckily for me, there's so many different ways to make music out there, and one of them that I found was Koala Sampler. Now, Koala Sampler is an amazing app for your iPad and for your phone, and I learned to make music with Koala Sampler, which occupied my time, for one, musically, and two, it showed me a completely different way to make music. It's completely different from how I would write songs and record them with the Tascam Model 12, with the MPC One, with a DAW, and playing live instruments. And so I just wanted to make a video showing Koala Sampler. For anyone that hasn't used it, or for anybody who's curious about it but hasn't tried it out yet, you should just go ahead and get the app, and you should pay for the Samurai upgrade because it's amazing. So I'm gonna get into that now. And before I get into Koala Sampler, I want to plug my song Memories, which is going to be out on November 24th. There's an accompanying music video that's going to be out on November 10th before it. The music video is special. A really close friend of mine, Jessie Carter-Clavin, came up with the concept for the music video, and she also filmed and edited the entire thing. She rented a Blackmagic cinema camera, and it was awesome. I procrastinated releasing the video, just being nervous looking at myself in that context. But she did an amazing job. I'm happy that it's coming out on November 10th. And I'm really happy that the song Memories, which is literally about looking back on your memories fondly, and features my father playing saxophone, which is also cool because I looked up to my father, my grandfather, and my uncle, who are all jazz musicians, my entire life musically. So to be here collaborating with my father on a song that I wrote and produced myself, to get to mix his saxophone, I'm overjoyed about it, and I can't wait to be able to share it with you guys. So there's a pre-save link for the song, and there's also a link to the hosting page for the music video linked below. And let's get into Koala Sampler. Okay, here we are in Koala Sampler. I'm on the sample page, which is the first page. There's also a sequence page here, which we'll get to later. And then there's a perform page. And the perform page has all these effects. We'll get into all of that later. When you first get Koala, you're going to want to go into this hamburger, and you're going to want to go to the settings. And you're going to want to go to extras, and right here where it says the version and it says Samurai, that's the Samurai upgrade, which that gives you the ability to use more of the functionality. So you're going to want to just do that upgrade. I forget how much it costs, but it's not very expensive relative to other music apps. So you can either use the microphone of your phone or whatever you happen to be using, or there's actually samples. If you see on the bottom here, there's samples. Now, I've loaded in my own samples, and Koala comes with its own. So here you have, like, there's a bass sound. These are all sounds that come stock with Koala Sampler. So I'm not going to use, actually, you know what? I'm going to use the basic sounds. So let's go to the drum kits. Let's pick a kick. Cool, that'll work. Now let's go over here. Let's pick a snare. Yep, that's the one. I'm gonna drag it over to this pad. That works. Now we'll pick some hi-hats. I like that. We'll drag it over. Boom. Let's go for a cymbal. Okay. All right, that's enough drums. Let me pick out a bass. So samples. Bass. Yep, let's do that one. That's nice and deep, so. And these work just like any other pads from any other music software you've used. You hold them down longer. Let's see. Koala. Nope. Got some vinyl noise in there. Melodic. Cool. I'm gonna use that one. Let's do the string pad. So these are my sounds. I got a kick, snare, I got a hi-hat, a cymbal, I got a bass, I got a guitar pluck, and then I've got a string. This is what we got to work with. So you have the ability to edit these, which is nice. So I can go here and I can edit the sample. So if I think that this rings out too long, I can go ahead and shorten the sample. There we go, I'm in one-shot mode. I'm shorten the snare as well. Just drive it back. Fine with this mostly, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna turn up the volume on this. So if I select this pad and I turn this volume up, that's the volume only for that pad. So now you can't hear it. Needs to be a lot louder. I'm gonna turn the snare down a bit. I'm also going to turn the volume of that, turn that down. Keep the bass loud. Turn that guitar up. And I can also mess with the pitch of these if I wanted to. So I'm not going to do that in here, but I can also EQ these. So when I have this sound, I don't need any of this low end. I'm going to hack that off. Also going to hack off some of the high end, give it that focused sound. I like that. That's kind of nice. See how that gets it a focus? Take away some of the low end from this guy too. Cool. So now everything is how it should be, in my opinion. Now I'm going to go over here to the sequence. And when I go over to the sequence, I still got all these pads here. By the way, this background is a picture that I took in my neighborhood of a flower. You can load your own backgrounds. People make it look like an SP404. People make it look like an MPC. You can, if I flip this, it'll be shaped the way you're used to seeing your pads on an MPC. It's really versatile. So, okay, these here are my sequences. And right here it says 1 bar, right? And it's 110, the metronome. So there's my metronome. That's 1 bar. So what I usually do is I'm going to figure out what my drum beat is going to be. And I'm just going to record it into this first sequence as 1 bar. So here we go. All right, let's go again. Undo that last one. Okay, so we're going to start off with that. And now I'm going to duplicate this by just dragging it over to the next one. But I'm going to make this next one an extra bar and actually I'm going to go back. Double up. So this is doubled up the length. So now I've got here we go. All right. So if you look at this piano icon over here, right, I'm going to select this and choose this, and I'm going to choose a keyboard. Undo all of that. Oh, that's actually better. So I've got duplicate that, add it over here, and I'm going to go into this
Now how do I edit this? This is what I've forgotten how to do. Forgotten how to edit this. There we go. Double tap it. Now I'm gonna play this. Is I want these to be different. So okay. With the size of this somehow. So unlock and then there we go. All right, let's try that over here now. Now I'm going to do something slick. So here we go. Okay, so now we've got three separate parts. So we've got so now I'm going to get even different with it. So I'm going to come and I'm going to duplicate this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start taking things away, actually. So I have, and I have, and I have. So I've got, and I'm just going to add a simple pad. But before I do that, I'm going to go and duplicate it again. And you see where I'm getting at. I'm just making my own distinct little patterns. So let's move it down. Yeah, let's give it a little bit of that. So here we go. Okay, so we've got so I'm going to go into this one and you know, I have no idea why some of these are not showing up. It's kind of crazy. There we go. Okay, so So I got boom, 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 boom. So now. Yeah, there we go. So I like that. And now I'm gonna Yep. Okay, so let's go back and look over what we have so far. So I'm going to start with just this. Okay, the camera died, unfortunately. And so here's what I'm left with from that last sequence I was showing you guys. So now I'm going to show you guys the final two things that I'd like to show you. So I'm going to go from sequence over to perform. And now you're going to get all of these cool effects. And I'm going to show you another function. So I'm going to hit the hamburger. And I'm going to hit record song. This is another Samurai function. I don't think you can do it without the Samurai upgrade. So I'm going to hit record song. It's going to say the recording will start when you press play and stop when you press play button to stop. Are you ready? I'm going to hit OK. As soon as I press play, it's going to record whatever I do. So I'm basically recording a set, sequencing this into a song. So I'm going to select what I want to start with. I'm going to start with those, and here we go. Alright, I'm just going to name it now. I'm going to name this number 2 actually, because I actually recorded one of these while the camera was dead. And I'm going to save it. So now it's going to give me these options. I'm going to hit save the files. And I already have, I'll show you where I save mine. So I'll go to on my iPad. There's a Koala folder. There's a songs folder. And I'm going to hit save. So that's going to save it in my Koala folder. I can go back and listen to it whenever I want to. Okay, that's Koala Sampler. It's a whole lot of fun. As you can see, it's a very different way to make music than if you've been watching this channel, the way that you've seen me make music, typically with a guitar, a bass, maybe my MIDI controller, and some virtual synths. But it's fun. It's really easy to get caught up in. You know, I tried my best on that little jam to make it short, but as you can see, I got completely caught up sequencing the different parts and adding the different effects that you can add. And the cool thing about it is that you can also work with it a different way. So another program or another app that I talked about was Beatmaker 3. And another way that I used Koala Sampler, I used the effects version, which is a standalone app you can buy, Koala Effects. And I made songs in Beatmaker 3, or I made a song in Koala Sampler, exported that song the way I showed, brought it into Beatmaker 3, and then opened up an instance of Koala Effects and played in real time those effects into a different track so that it printed those tracks onto a new track. So it printed a new version of the track with the effects on it. And yeah, I released something called Resolve, I believe it was called. I'll link that in the description, and I'll probably flash a card of it over this later on in the editing. But overall, Koala Sampler is really, really fun. And for the price of these apps, you know, you can use Koala Sampler on your phone as well as on the iPad. And it's just as much fun on the phone. In fact, like one day I was out skating and I actually like sampled an ollie of mine, and I used that ollie sound to create a bass drum and to create a snare drum. You can just do a lot with it. So you guys probably want to check it out. Again, check out the pre-save links for my song and music video memories, which will be down in the description. And thanks to anybody and everybody who watches this.